Howdy, folks, and welcome back. Hope you're all blessed and doing okay out there. Well, for today's video, I present to you the locomotives that Baldwin built. Now, I'll be honest, I am not too familiar with the Baldwin Company and what they did. I do know, though, they made some very interesting locomotives, including the Shark Nose. This book covers the years of 1831 to 1923. So let's take a look. Oh, it's crooked. There. And see what this one has to offer. Baldwin was competing with Alco and Lima and Cook Locomotive Works at the time they were put into production. Baldwin built a ton of unique locomotives, big and small, and it looks like they were one of the earliest ones we had in the country. They were right up there, I think, with the Rogers Locomotive Works as well. I'm not sure, to be honest, what happened to Baldwin, guys. My guess is they were bought out by somebody, but I really don't know. I haven't looked that far into their history. It looks as though they built a lot of American types back in their day, and some of their early steam engines looks like this. There's a steam dummy right there, or it could be a trolley. Pardon me. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with Baldwin. These are the kinds of engines I like, all the early trains from the 19th century. I also like stuff from the 20th and some of the 21st century trains as well. But when it comes to, like, a steam era, I like the early stuff probably most of all, along with the northerns and everything else. Okay, I like all steam engines from the beginning. Let me just say that. Man, they built a ton of American types, it looks like. Yeah, there's a 244. Looks like a reverse Atlantic type. There's a 480 12-wheeler, or Mastodon type. I think that's a 10-wheeler there. Now there's that 422 type. There's a 280. That looks like a Rogers 460 right there. Feel free to pause anytime you want to read about this. I'm not going to give out like a ton of narration, guys, because like I said, I am not familiar with this company. I don't know if the diesels are in this book or not. It's been a long time since I've looked at this. Oh, there's a camelback. And I think this book might feature locomotives from other companies, but honestly, I forget, you guys. That looks kind of unusual right there. Man, the camelbacks. Lord have mercy. Imagine trying to operate one of those contraptions. An American type with a short tender. How about that? One thing you may have noticed about my videos is I do a lot of talking when I show stuff, but I'm going to be honest and not try to make something up if I don't know it, because I figured you guys might want to know the truth about something. Somebody who's looking at this is going to probably give me some corrections in the comments. Go ahead. I don't mind the criticism one bit. Ah, there's an electric locomotive. Steeple cab. Very nice. That looks like the Tunaville trolley a little bit to me. Need you make sure y'all can read the stuff. Oh, there's a, looks like a motor car right there. I'm wondering how many of these have been made in miniature, because these models are quite something. Oh, missed a page. There we go. Ah, there's a cog locomotive. And there's the gear, and there's the cog right there. Huh, saddle tank. Cool. That's a very tiny tender for that big engine. Oh my goodness. That's a very unusual design if I ever saw one. Now, I've read about that type, but I forget what it is. If you know, tell me in the comments. Ow. I've got so much knowledge and information in my brain it's hard to keep up with everything. I honestly forget what they built, but I know they built some interesting engines. Huh. Well, it looks like they may have built the cab forward. I may have to do some research on that. If I'm wrong, again, correct me in the comments. I don't mind. Oh, not that thing. Oh. So, this has a name. I forget, but I remember the concept. The idea and belief was that if you raise up the engine and put extra wheels underneath the driving wheels, it would make the engine go much faster. Guess what? It didn't work. Only 2 of these were made. What were they thinking? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that's one of the craziest designs I've ever seen on a steam locomotive. Oh, there's a double-ended steam engine. Those are pretty cool. You find them mostly in Europe, but we have some here in America. Yeah, there's the cab forward again. Pretty cool. I guess they did make the cab forward. And all these pictures would be great for modelers. It looks like these are all factory photographs from when they were out of the Baldwin factory. I have no idea where it was, to be honest, guys. I really don't know. But still, it's pretty cool somebody took the time to take all these amazing pictures, because these trains are actually pretty nice looking. If there are any model railroaders out there watching, please take note. You might want to take down some designs or find this book for yourself and make a model of some of these fine engines. All I recognize are the camelbacks and the cow forwards, guys. Like I said, I really don't recognize very much from this company. I guess after this, I'll have to do some looking into Baldwin's history. Still, these are some pretty nice pictures, you have to admit. Like I said, guys, I really don't recognize any of these engines. But I won't argue, I wouldn't mind having some of these in my collection in miniature to run around my railroad. Then again, it makes you wonder how many of these concepts would work in miniature that worked in the real world. You look at Bachmann's early American types, you had the drive inside the tender, and there was a rod that connected it to gears and the driving wheels for the pickups to work. The later ones are a little different. They have sound now, but man, I just don't know. If I was to make a model that was tiny, and people wanted to have a decoder in the tender, like this for example, the engine would be made of die-cast metal, so you'd have to put weights in the cab like Bachmann does. You could have actually room in the cab. The tender, pardon me, would have an N-scale decoder instead of an HO-scale decoder with a speaker. And you don't really need a ton of sound functions for these early engines. You need a whistle, a bell, and the steam sounds of an early American steam locomotive. Oh, they built the triplex. How about that? There's a big articulator right there. Oh, that's not an articulator. I take that back. I think that's a Norfolk and Western steam engine. The Baldwin story. If you're going to make a steam engine in miniature, it's not always going to be DCC or DCC and sound equipped. And sometimes they work, and, well, sometimes they don't. From what I could tell, a fair majority of these engines could be made in miniature, with or without DCC and sound, or with or without a motor. You can make a display piece, or make the engine and the tender have weights and have one of the cars act as the motor to push the train around and pull the train around. There's a Santa Fe steam engine right there. Cool. I think that's a 2882 mallet right there. And for anybody who's wondering, I don't think Alec Baldwin, the actor, has anything to do with the Baldwin Locomotive Works. Factories to build steam engines had to be huge, and took a lot more men and machinery to actually make them, because a lot of these parts were fabricated by hand, unlike machine work today, and unlike being worked by machines today when a diesel locomotive is being built. There's the Cat Forward again. I think that's the 9000 up there from the Pacific. Oh, the Depression years. Oh, yes, the Great Depression. My, what a time. They had quite a variety of engines, it looks like, to choose from back in their day. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having a whole fleet of HO-scale steam engines to run around my layout or if I already have it built, or when I've got it built, one of the two. There's a Santa Fe Northern in the 3800 class. I guess Baldwin built that along with the 3700 class. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen this book. Ah, the GG1s. I guess Baldwin built those too? I really don't remember, guys. I haven't done much research on this engine. I just know it was built for the Pennsylvania Railroad, and 4 different railways operated it over its career. No, 5. Pennsylvania Railroad, Conrail, Penn Central, Amtrak, and New Jersey Transit. That's right. There's some of their diesels there at the top. Ah, the Santa Fe Blue Goose. Always a favorite and a beauty. I think that's the New Haven streamliner right there. Oh, there's a Challenger down there. Allegheny type. Down there. There's the Yellowstone, and there's the big boy. Alco made the big boy. There's a chance some of the engines I may have mentioned that I thought were built by Baldwin, I may be wrong about. Make sure you guys do your fact checks and research before you watch my video, because there's a chance I may have made some mistakes. And if so, I apologize in advance. And there's the T1 duplex from the Pennsylvania Railroad, the new tooling version right there. Pretty cool. There's one of their streamliners there. There's the Pennsylvania Railroad's 686 right there. There's their Centipede, which had a ton of wheels, and the Shark Nose right there, and the C&O M1. Don't recognize that one there at the bottom. Just cool stuff all around. There's a transfer engine right there, but I think Lima built those, but that could be a Baldwin as well. There's the John Henry, and there's the Cav Ford again. And we end with the small industrial switcher. Alright, Joe, well, there you have it. Video was a bit faster than normal, but still pretty cool. Again, I'm not too familiar with this company, so I recommend y'all do your research on it. Anyway, until next time, please be safe around trains. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And remember, the good Lord loves all of you. Until next time, happy rails, guys.